Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing 13 things that you can do to become abundant in every single area of your life. So the first thing that I have written down is to pay for your future freedom. So this concept is in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it's basically about paying yourself first. And what that means is before you pay anyone else, even your employees, you're first going to pay yourself. So this means putting money away in a retirement account so that your money is multiplying and compounding and growing and can pay for your future freedom. So this is something that I religiously do. I used to have to set a reminder on my phone every month that said, invest in your Roth IRA. But now it has just become a part of my everyday life, a part of my identity. And so I invest religiously. Regardless of how much money I earn every single month, I make sure that I take a good chunk of that and I'm putting it into either stocks or Bitcoin or both, and I'm letting that money sit there and grow. Okay, so paying yourself first does not mean putting it in your savings account. It doesn't mean putting the money under your pillow, because as we know, inflation is eating away at the value of that money. So paying yourself first means putting your money in an investment vehicle, whichever that you find value in, whether that's real estate, whether that's stocks, whether that's cryptocurrency, whatever it is that you know can earn you more. And then you can enjoy that money at a later date. The next thing that you can do to become abundant is to literally have extra. So what I mean by that is if there is something that you use around the house consistently, without fail, without a doubt, you should have a reserve of that thing. So in our household, that's toilet paper, that's paper towels, that's certain canned food that we know can come in handy if there was ever an emergency. It's even feminine care products. Like, ladies, if you're watching this video and you just have a month's worth of feminine care products, that is putting you in a position of lack. I know so many women that get their cycle and then they're like, oh no, I need to run to the store to get tampons, or oh no, I don't have this. I always made it a priority in my life to have extras of the essentials that I need. So that means I have extra shampoo, I have extra conditioner, I have extra shaving cream, toothpaste, deodorant, like the basics are there. And this comes in so handy because you never want to be in that situation where you run out of something and you need it right then and there. What kinds of feelings do you think are going to come up if you really need some paper towels and you're out of them? It's that feeling of lack. It's that feeling of not having what you need. And so I truly think literally having extra stock of essentials, of things that we use on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis is so beneficial. And I know a few years ago when the whole world shut down and you know what was going on, guess who came to my house to get toilet paper? All my friends and family, because they knew that I had stock, that I had a reserve. And so this just makes you feel on an energetic level, like in your nervous system, I'm safe, I have what I need, and I have even more than what I need, okay? So this isn't about being a consumer. This isn't about, having an excess, having things that you don't need. I'm not saying have 30 lip glosses. I'm saying have extra of the things that you actually need to survive. So that's food, that's shelter, that's the things that you do in terms of hygiene. And this can truly just alter the way that you feel, because if you know deep down, like, I'm set, I'm secure, not only do I have this month's essentials, in my closet, but I have next month's and the next 6 months. You're now moving around in a very different way. I know that this sounds like, how can this be connected to abundance? But it really is. When you're able to open your closet and see that, lo and behold, you run out of shaving cream or you run out of conditioner, that you have a backup ready to go. This just allows you to feel more abundant, to feel rich, to feel like you literally have everything that you need directly next to you. And it also comes in handy if you're traveling, if, perhaps you have a few rooms. Like for me, for example, I used to have one little chapstick that I would keep in my purse. And then I was like, what am I doing? Because the amount of time it would take for me to go to my purse to get the chapstick, I was like, I'm literally wasting money because time is money. So what did I do? I got a huge pack of chapstick, and now I literally have a chapstick in every room, every bathroom, in both of our cars, and it is ready to go. Okay. So if there is anything like that in your life that you're always reaching for, then make sure to get an extra one. Make sure to have a backup. This is just going to allow you to feel more secure and confident. The next thing that you can do to be abundant is to serve yourself first. I know that this goes against everything that we're told about, serving everyone before ourselves, but in order to really be a top performer, in order to really be wealthy, you need to prioritize you first. Doesn't matter if you're a mom, doesn't matter if you're married, doesn't matter. You have to fill your cup first before you can show up for others. So for example, in my life, what does that mean? It means that I am working out before I am doing anything for my family. Okay. So if I haven't gotten my workout in, I'm sorry, I can't make lunch. We got to order something or we need to go somewhere, right? But I put my workout first. And that is something that I never did in the past. I would always say, well, once I make lunch, once I do the laundry, once I serve my clients, and you know what happened? Then it was 7 p.m. and I didn't get my workout in. So now I put myself first. If that means that I need an extra hour for prayer time in the morning, then I'm carving out that hour before I'm meeting with my husband, before I'm meeting with clients, before I'm talking to anyone. Because I know that if I put that energy into me, into serving me, whether that's through physical activity, whether that's through having a conversation with God, whether that's through writing in my journal, whether that's through reading a book that I'm interested in, I know that when I do that for myself, I'm now approaching the day with a different mentality altogether. If I serve myself first, I am now a happier, positive, joyful person who can pour into others at just an incredibly greater level than I would have been able to had I not served myself first. Okay. So please, if you know that in order for you to thrive, you need to do a meditation, then by all means, please do that meditation and schedule it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar if you need to before you serve anyone, your kids, your husband, your clients. All of that comes next after you have served yourself. The next thing that I have here is investing in higher quality. Okay, so this is huge. I remember that there was a time when I used to shop for clothes, and I thought that I was getting a good deal if I took the total that the amount was and I divided it by the number of items, and that number was low. So for example, just let's say that I spent $300 and I got 5 things. Okay. That means that each item was $60. What I found though, sometimes I spend $300 on one item and that item gets used way more than any of those $60 items. Okay, so now I don't look at how much the thing is. I look at how much use am I going to get out of it. So obviously that doesn't mean that I'm going to spend $1,000 on a rainbow scarf, some tie-dye dress that I'm never going to wear. No, but I would definitely spend $1,000 on a comfortable pair of shoes that I know are going to keep me comfortable and that I know will last for years and can be worn with multiple outfits. Okay, so instead of weighing things based on their price, like there's this item that's priced here and this item's priced here, let me just get the cheaper one. Now I always look at quality and usage. So if one item is made of wool or cashmere, I know that that is a higher quality than something made of polyester. So just based off that alone, I would make my decision based on the material, because I know that that material is high quality and it is going to have the longevity, right? It's going to have the ability to sustain a long period of time and to actually last me. Okay, so I buy the higher quality item. It doesn't need to be the most expensive and it doesn't necessarily need to be the best, but it needs to be the highest quality. And this isn't just about clothes. This can be food too. Like I am going to opt for the organic, fresh produce over the cheap frozen one. Okay. And even when it comes to experiences, what's the higher quality experience? That's what I'm going to get. So let me give you an example. My husband and I always have this principle. If we're going out to a restaurant and they have different tiers, right? So let's say it's wine. They give you the wine list. There's the most expensive bottle. Let's say it's like $700. Then there's the second best, third best, whatever. Generally, my husband and I will always opt for the second kind of ticketed item, okay? And why do we do that? Well, generally the highest price thing isn't always the best. Usually it's just a name that's thrown on it, or it's just expensive because it's expensive, right? It's just that flashy thing. It's like getting the Ferrari or the Lamborghini. That doesn't necessarily mean you're getting the highest quality car, right? But generally, the second best thing tends to be the best in terms of quality, especially in terms of bang for your buck. So obviously, it's not the cheapest item. It's not the most expensive, but it's of one of the highest qualities, okay? So we generally do that when it comes to, if we're buying something. So this can be, for example, if you're going to take a flight, you don't need to opt for the first class ticket, but business class, right? That's the second best, and you generally get the best bang for your buck in that category. And also there's a lot of times kind of wiggle room to be able to upgrade to that higher level thing. Okay, so this is kind of just the way that we think about stuff. When you opt for the higher quality thing, this really just trains your mind to start looking for quality. Okay, you're no longer looking for a deal. You're no longer looking for a discount. You're now looking at quality, which is the thing that matters, right? Because if there are two coaches and one of them's cheaper, but one of them's higher quality, I would rather go for the higher quality, even if it's more expensive, because I know I'm going to get more value out of that, okay? And this same principle applies to investments. So many people have this skewed perception that if there is a company that has stocks at a lower price, then they're discounted. You're getting a good deal. Oh my God, the shares are only $8. No. That doesn't necessarily mean that, okay? I recently tweeted this a few days ago. I said, I would rather have 5 shares in the best company than 50 shares in a mediocre one. So for example, I would rather have 3 designer leather handbags than 20 from Shein. It doesn't matter that with the Shein option, I'm getting a bigger number of bags. It's all about the quality. Okay, so having this mentality of looking for high quality rather than low price really shifts your mentality, and it allows you to see things from an abundant mindset. The next thing that I have is having foresight. So this is when you are the first of your group, of your circle, to do something. Okay, so for example, for me, I know that one of those things was investing in Bitcoin. I was investing in Bitcoin before any of my friends were, before anyone in my family did. Like, I was willing to take that risk to be the first. And having foresight really makes you abundant. Let me explain why. Okay, life is all about timing. And if you are able to be one of the first to do something, it really sets you apart. And all you need to do is be right, like one of those times that you do it first, and it can change the trajectory of your life. Okay, so if you have even a nudge, even a little part of you that's like, oh, should I start the business? Should I do this? And nobody in your circle or in your vicinity is doing it, I am inviting you right now to do that thing. Because even if you don't get rewarded financially or whatever for doing the thing, you're now building that muscle to take risk, to try things out, to be open-minded, to be flexible. And these character traits are huge when it comes to abundance, right? The people that we know that are the most abundant, let's think Elon Musk is one of the biggest risk takers in our history, right? So if you are able to just even train yourself to do things before others are doing it, to start the trend, to have the foresight, this is really a great skill that builds abundance, and that just helps you shine. It helps you really pave the way and to be a leader in your industry, in your circle, in your family or friend group. You are going to be the role model and the one that others look to. Okay, so just be the first to try something, be the first to invest in something, be that role model that others are looking to. After I found love on a dating app, do you know how many people that I know that signed up for a dating app? Dozens. Okay, I'm talking friends, family members, and I paved the way for other women to find love on dating apps. Same thing with solo travel. After I solo traveled, there were so many other people in my life who had the interest to want to solo travel. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily need to be investing in this new stock or doing something out of the ordinary. It can be as simple as, dating in an unconventional way, or choosing not to follow the prescribed path that society has. It can even be dropping out of college. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the best decision, but if you are in a position where you feel like, hey, this trajectory, something is telling me that this trajectory is going to take me further than this one, even though everyone else is on this one, take that side road, right? Try it out. The next thing that makes you abundant, and I can attest to this, is generosity. Okay, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter where you are, what your position is, what your status is. The minute you are able to bless someone else, you have automatically increased your abundance. I know personally, me, when I am able to purchase someone a gift, to surprise them with an experience, to donate to a fund, to a cause that I am passionate about, I feel so abundant. I feel like my money, my energy is actually making a difference. It's blessing someone with so much positivity, and I truly do believe that generosity can be found at any and every income level. I don't care if you have a few hundred to your name or a few million. You can be generous with anything that you have, whether it's sharing, whether it's thinking of someone, whether it's sending them knowledge, sending them wisdom. Generosity doesn't necessarily need to be donating money or paying for something, but I do believe that when we do these things, God blesses us with more. And I honestly used to see it as a burden. Like, I'm ashamed to say, but there was a time in my life where I felt burdened. Like, why is everyone looking to me? Why does everyone count on me? Why do I have all of this pressure to succeed and to do X, Y, and Z? And I felt kind of like burdened. Like, why am I always the one who's giving and pouring? And now I feel honored. I feel that God gave me that responsibility because he knew I could handle it, because he knew I could do it, because he knew that I had the resources and the ability to bless others. So even just this mindset shift of seeing generosity as a blessing instead of a curse will take you a far way. Also, when we give, it creates this sense of overflow. It subconsciously tells our mind that we have enough, that we have an overflow of abundance that can be shared with others. And I really encourage you guys to tap into yourselves anytime that there is an ability to give, and to really assess, am I giving from overflow or am I giving from expectation? Because those are two completely different things. If you are giving because it's expected of you, because you have to, because people just look at you and think that you need to do things for them, that's a completely different energy from giving because you have extra, because you have an abundance, because your cup is flowing and it just feels good to do so. So definitely tap into that, because I know that there are times when we give, but it's not from our own genuine goodwill. It's not from our own genuine overflow, but it's kind of like a burden. It's like, oh, I have to do this. Okay. So make sure that when you're being generous, when you're giving, you're feeling those good emotions, because if you're not, it can actually have the reverse effect of making you not feel abundant at all. It can make you feel lack. It can make you feel burdened. So definitely only make sure to give when you get that positive feedback. It's like a positive feedback loop. Like, I swear, the minute that I donate or do something nice to someone, it like sparks this domino effect where I continuously want to do it because it feels so good, and it really just fills up your soul with good vibes and good feelings. So highly recommend. The next part of being abundant is learning, growth, okay? So if you view your life as constant education, that's literally how I view my life, is every single day I'm in class, every single day I'm learning, every single year I'm growing. And that is such an abundant place to be, because you never feel like you've reached your potential or that you've reached, the end of your degree or whatever it is, right? But you view life as this constant progression of more knowledge, more wisdom, more growth. And so this is exactly why I read so many books, why I listen to so many podcasts, and why I watch YouTube videos, because I'm on this journey of growth, and I know that that growth never ends. And as much as I pour into myself with knowledge and with learning and with growth, I see it pay off. I see that I'm able to earn more money. I see that I'm able to help more people. I see that I'm able to make a bigger impact. And so learning is just this amazing thing. And I think we are so blessed in this day and age. We have so many free resources everywhere. I mean, my YouTube videos, I have over 400 YouTube videos of just pouring into you guys, giving you guys free content, free information, knowledge, the things that I've learned, the things that I've heard and digested from other individuals. And so I truly think that we are blessed in this day and age, and we should truly take advantage of all of these outlets. I know that for me, I kind of like compounding my blessings. So for example, I like working out and listening to a podcast because I'm like, not only am I feeding my physical body right now, but I'm feeding my mental body as well. And so I always look at every moment as an opportunity to grow and learn and to just develop as a person. And so I think that that is a huge factor in abundance, is the knowing that you don't know anything, right? Like, I honestly, as much as I learn and grow and read, I know that I don't know. And that puts me in this position where I'm like a sponge. I want to absorb things, and I'm never closed off to new ways of thinking or new perspectives. And I truly believe that knowledge and information and wisdom can come from any and all sources. So I am always looking out for just the next thing that's going to take me to the next level. And I truly believe that you can learn for free, even if you're not in an actual education system, whether it's a university or some sort of certificate. You can simply learn just by watching other people who have done it. So definitely take advantage of that. When it comes to abundant, you know what's key? Saying no. Honestly, the things that we say no to, the things, the people, the opportunities that we say no to that don't light us up, is making way for the things that do light us up, for the things that are meant for us, okay? So I say no relentlessly because I already know when I am meant to do something, I can feel it in my bones. It's a good feeling. I feel light and I'm like, let's go for it. But if I don't feel those positive feelings, then I know it's probably not for me. Now, that doesn't mean that every time I feel discomfort or fear, I'm like, oh, this isn't meant for me, because sometimes something that you're meant to do but is just fearful or a little bit uncomfortable can disguise itself as something that you might need to say no to, okay? So you really need to use your intuition and your discernment to know, am I saying no because this isn't aligned or because I'm just scared? Okay, because if you're just scared, then that is an area that you can improve on and that you can tackle. Okay, so that's the next thing that will definitely make you abundant, is to build that ability to say no and to truly know when you should say no, right? Because we need to be saying no to the things that don't serve us, because when we say no to those things, we're saying yes to the things that do. Okay. The next thing is increase the bar. Just increase the standard. Okay. The minute that you increase the standard, you become more abundant. Okay. So this can mean legitimately like you're dating and you raise your standards, you raise the bar. Okay. You've now eliminated these people in the pool and you're now only looking at these people. Okay. In terms of business, the minute you increase your hourly rate or the price of your offer, you're now saying yes to more abundant people, to people who are in a different phase of their life, right? So I always look at myself, and if I see that I have outgrown my rate or I have outgrown my offer, then I immediately bump that up, right? Because I want my clients to reflect the place where I'm at. Obviously, the rates that I was charging 5 years ago don't align with who I've become, with all the work that I've done. So I always reward myself because I know I'm doing the work, I'm learning, I'm growing, and so therefore my rates need to match that, okay? So raising your standard, raising the bar can mean raising the expectations you have of friendships even. It could be raising the bar in terms of raising your rate for your clients. It can be raising your standards when it comes to dating, okay? All of these are related to raising the bar. Expect more from the people in your life. right? I know that kind of in my friend circle, I'm known as being the bougie one. And I take that as a compliment because I'm like, yeah, people should know when they're inviting me, I expect to be going to a certain level of restaurant, to a certain level of hotel, right? If we're gonna take a trip together, I expect to be staying at a nice place, doing these types of experiences. So I want people to know, yeah, I am the bougie friend. Just like I expect the best from myself, I expect the best from my husband, from my friends, from my family, from those in my life. So I uphold everyone to a very high standard. And that obviously makes you feel more abundant because now the people in your life know you're not just any old Joe, any old average person, right? You're someone who actually puts time and effort into investing in themselves, and therefore you expect the other people in your life to do the same. You don't even need money to implement this next one, okay? Having a calm mindset in the midst of chaos is a superpower, okay? I don't care how much money you have, if you are not emotionally stable, if you are not able to remain composed, then are you really that rich? Okay, this is a lesson that I've had to learn and I'm still learning, is to really control my emotions and to not get overwhelmed, right? In the past, I have been someone who quickly gets into stress mode, anxious mode. I start freaking out. And my husband has taught me so much. I mean, not verbally, but just observing him and how he is has taught me so much about being calm, about being mindful. And truly, your mental health is a reflection of your physical health, of your financial health, of your emotional health, okay? So I truly believe that we need to invest in being super strong, in being able to withstand discomfort, being able to withstand challenges. Recently, my sister was telling me one of her friends got in a car accident, and thank God she was okay, she was safe. And I had asked my sister, oh my God, like, how did she respond? Was she shook up? Was she angry? And my sister is like, oh, she was just worried that she was running late to her friend's house. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that is awesome. The fact that instead of worrying, instead of being annoyed, instead of being angry, that all she was worried about was that she was running a little bit late, that is a superpower, right? Because if we are not in control over our emotions, then our emotions control us, right? So we don't want to be a slave to something that's changeable, to something that's not steady. So really practice being calm, being composed. Practice makes perfect. And you can kind of tell when you're starting to get wound up. Like, I know that I can tell right away when I'm starting to get stressed. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to take some deep breaths. I'm going to go hit the sauna. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to remain calm. Because when we are calm, we make better decisions and we approach situations with more logic. Okay, so definitely have a composed mind. If you are able to remain calm during stress, during challenges, during grief, during financial loss, then imagine how strong you are. That is truly abundance, okay? The next thing is having the mentality of, I will try everything once, even if it fails. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the having foresight, because someone who has this mentality isn't scared to try things. And I think the number one thing that drives most people to success is their willingness to try. You'll never know if you're going to be a pop star if you don't ever release your first single. You won't ever know if you can be a renowned model if you don't try and take your first headshot. So the ability and the willingness to try says a lot about who we are. And even if it fails, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, most times It's not that big of a deal. Maybe we lost a little bit of time or a little bit of money, but at least we tried it. Delayed gratification is huge when it comes to abundance, okay? So let me tell you a few of the beliefs that I hold. I will eat anything I want, but I intermittent fast daily. So if you know me, you know that I don't restrict myself when it comes to diet. I eat pasta if I want to. I'll eat the chocolate if I want to. I'll have some cake. However, I am so strict with my intermittent fasting. I intermittent fast almost every single day, minimum of 16 hours. And this gives me a sense of control over my life. At least I have this in control, right? So I'm able to be disciplined with fasting, which allows me the freedom to eat anything that I want. The other belief that I have is I'll buy anything I want, but I invest the same amount first. So let's say I want to get a $2,000, $3,000 designer bag. That's fine, but I need to be willing to invest that same amount into my retirement fund. So this goes hand in hand with the paying for your future freedom, right? Because a lot of people don't buy whatever it is that they desire because they don't have a fund set up. They don't have an investment vehicle. They don't have a retirement plan, okay? And this is what keeps them from taking the nice vacation, from splurging on the dress, from doing that thing that they really want to do, okay? So why not do the things that you really want, but then also hold yourself accountable in this other area, okay? So I truly believe that if we do the hard things today, we can live an easy life tomorrow. Last but not least, when it comes to an abundance mindset, having the consciousness of faith over fear is key, okay? If you truly believe that God is on your side, that God wants you to win, that God hears your every prayer and answers to you and is close to you and is working behind the scenes to make your dreams a reality, then how could you ever fail? And always when I look at my life and I look back to the moments when I made the best decisions, it was when I was tuned into faith. It was when I was surrendered and just accepting of whatever happens is meant to happen, but I know that it's bringing me closer to where I'm meant to go. So please make it a habit of thinking long term. Don't fall into this cycle of instant gratification, of going based on your feelings and things that don't have a strong foundation. Abundance is not just about how much we have in the bank account or our net worth. Abundance is a mindset. It's the way in which we view ourselves, the standards that we have for ourselves, the way in which we have discipline, the way in which we exercise our free will in order to make decisions that are setting us up for a bright future. So abundance is a beautiful thing. I think all of us can tap into a more abundant version of ourselves. I know that each year I am getting a little bit more abundant here and there. And it's just funny. Like, there are simple tweaks that we make in our life, but they make a big difference. For example, my husband and I always buy really high quality drinking water. We generally drink Icelandic or Eternal, which are like natural spring water that come from different actual sources, whether it's like a glacier or a mountain. Anyways, so we've always really invested in high quality water, but then I noticed that when we went to restaurants, we were drinking tap. And so I noticed this and I was like, wait, it doesn't make sense that we're being super abundant at home, but when we go out, we're getting house water. And so from that moment on, my husband and I decided we are opting for the bottled water. So every time we go to a restaurant now and they offer us, would you like house water or would you like bottled? We're always like, we'll have the still bottled water. And I know it's a small thing, it's just water, but even just these small tweaks make you feel more abundant. They make you feel like you are making decisions that align with what your richest, most wealthy self would do. So always think, what would my richest, most abundant, most wealthy self do? And do that, right? Because if you want to tap into that energy and that persona, then you need to start implementing the beliefs and taking the actions that that person would take. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. Definitely subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you guys all very soon. Bye.